you listen to the critics, if you listen to your own doubts and call them reasons, you may never find the drive to go back to school. But a little change in direction, a new perspective, and the right program may make your successful new path a reality. The Accelerated Degree Program at Albright College. Start your degree or complete your degree one night a week in as little as 2 years. Albright College. A different way of thinking.
Good evening, and welcome to the Albright Scholar for August 2017. My name is John Pankratz. I teach history at Albright, and each month it's my privilege to welcome BCTV viewers and residents of Greater Reading to take a glimpse inside our learning community up here on North 13th Street, to look at the work being done by teachers and students, and to think about its impact on all of us. Well, it's August, and classes for the fall semester haven't yet begun. So I don't have ACRE students or other folks to talk about their research, but this semester we have a very full and very exciting arts program in all the arts, and so we're going to give you a preview of what you can expect to see up here in the Center for the Arts and invite you to take advantage of some of these activities. We often talk about this subject in September, but by September it'll be too late because a number of openings and performances will have already taken place. So jot down what you might want to attend yourself. With me are two eminently qualified people to talk about this subject. David Tanner is the director of the Center for the Arts at Albright, has purview over the Friedman Gallery and the other activities in the center. And with him is our dear friend Jeffrey Lentz, distinguished artist in residence in both theater and music. And they'll have lots to tell us about what's happening.
Absolutely. Thank you for having us early this year, too. Yeah. I know we usually come on in September, but as you mentioned, we have so many things that are starting a little bit earlier this year. So this is great for us to be on in August. And I'm always happy to be with our senior visiting artist in residence. I like to throw that in there with his new title.
Thank you.
It's the David. Improv show tonight.
Yeah. So. Yes. But I've earned all these gray hairs.
So let's start off though with the Friedman Gallery, if that's all right, because that's one of the first things that's actually going to happen, and it starts on August 20th with a show that is pretty close to home for you, right?
It's awfully close to my heart. Yes, it is.
Yeah, so we're super excited to host the Faces of Reading Plus 10 project in the Friedman. So you worked very hard on that with Angela Kramer, and we are proud to be one of the venues that's showing that this year. And so that will be up through the kind of middle of the semester, if you will, about 6 or 7 weeks into the semester. Opens on the 20th with a public reception, so that's on Sunday coming up.
We hope people will come.
We do, in fact.
Poster even here.
Yeah. 2 to 4 on Sunday, I think.
1 to 4 o'clock.
1 to 4 o'clock. And so hopefully folks will come out. We'll have a little, refreshment for them and more encouragement. It is free. The Friedman is always free, and that's a great exhibit to see. You'll also get a little preview of another exhibit that will actually have a reception for later in September, and that's the Ed Williford that will be in our project space. And his exhibition is really interesting because we found this artist actually on a trip to New Orleans. And one of the things about his art is that he really likes for you to touch it, which often you don't get to do that with artwork. You're not supposed to touch. So it's interesting to be able to manipulate and things like that, and that's part of his creative process. It's part of his creative vision is that people will interact with these things that he's created, and they're very otherworldly, and especially when they move and things like that. So we're excited to see that. So his talk and lecture and reception will be on September 14th. We also have another chance, if you can't come on the 20th to see Faces of Reading, we'll also have a campus reception reception, that first week of classes, that'll be on
August
Thursday.
31st.
Yep.
You may want to come a couple times. It's 900 faces of people you know, your fellow residents of Reddings from all backgrounds and walks of life.
Yeah.
Interspersed with some texts, some statements of Reading people that Angela Kramer elicited and collected.
So it's kind of an oral history project. It's a pictorial portrait project as
Civic
well.
portraiture, I call it.
Civic portraiture, very good. And it is an important project, especially because what's nice about the show is that you have some of the original faces.
Yes.
And you have those images up along with their portrait if they came back and 10 years later got their portrait as
You
well.
can see what 10 years does to a person.
Exactly. And that's actually telling about what it's done to the city too, and that's the whole
think so.
purpose of this.
I think so.
So this is timely, especially at a time when we've had some great kind of civic art projects like This Is Reading that just happened with Lynn Nottage. Although I think yours was in the works a lot longer. I'll just give you a little...
we had a running start on this.
Yeah,
yes.
exactly. But that was such another really great project as well, because all of those things just have a great impact on feeding the arts and things like that.
And helping us to think of ourselves as a community,
Absolutely,
well.
absolutely.
which is always challenging.
Yeah, so those are a couple of great things that are happening. Later in the fall, we also have a show that will open up towards the end of October and run through the end of the semester. It's a show of two artists that are abstract expressionists, and it's guest curated by Will Corwin. The show is focused on Marguerite Loop and Pearl Fine, and one of the things that's very interesting in researching is we just found out that Pearl Fine actually had two pieces in a show in 1978 in the gallery. And so that was actually our second year of existence. So it's interesting, kind of a homecoming for her. Yeah, almost 40 years later. So hopefully
wonderful.
folks will come out and see that too. And then lots of great things in the spring. We have some artists coming in from New York. New York, yes, but Buffalo in particular. So Joan Linder and Paul Rosbarski will be here. Paul being paired with Laura Lynn White for a show that focuses on the nude. So that should be an interesting show too.
Yeah.
Lots of good stuff in the Friedman.
Wonderful, wonderful. I know also coming up very soon are some theater productions. And
Yes.
you've got a very exciting weekend coming up the, 1st, 2nd, and 3rd of September, is that right?
Yeah, Stars of the Albright
I have a poster
Stage.
here.
Oh, good. So it's Faces of Reading plus 10, and so it's also the theater department plus 15. Speaking of senior moments. So my colleague Julia Matthews and I are celebrating our 15th anniversary here at the very beginning of the theater department here at Albright College. And so we thought it was time to have a really serious commitment to engaging our alums to come back. We've had wonderful alums who've come back, sporadically throughout to mentor the students during their time at Albright and afterwards as well, moving to California, moving to New York, and we have a wonderful network of supportive majors that are now alums. But we thought we really need to tap into this group and find a way to create synergies between the works that they're creating. And it's also a time for the theater department, as we do in departments every 7 to 10 years, we do a departmental review. And so the members of the department have been looking very closely at our curriculum, at the trajectory of the courses that we teach and the kinds of students that are here, and always trying to figure out where the liberal arts tradition and what could be a more pre-professional approach to the study of theater, where we find common ground with this. And so that's what we're doing. We're asking the alums to come back, to talk to us about their experiences out in the trenches, out in graduate schools and in the regional programs, and doing film and television and radio and theater, creating a lot of new work.
New work as well.
Creating new companies. So we're really thrilled that many of our alums will be coming back September 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. Part of each of those days will be a celebration of performance. And so we have Chris Davis is coming back to do a one-man show of his called The Last Emperor of Mexico. He's currently at the Edinburgh Festival with two of his solo show pieces in Edinburgh. He's back for the third or fourth time, I think, in Edinburgh. He's a great favorite over there. And then Lisa Strum is coming back on Saturday, this is September the 2nd, to do her one-woman show, She Gone Learn. And then Connor and Natalie, who were with us back in June on this program, their Acre project, Constellations by Nick Payne, is going to have a performance on Sunday at 2:00 on Sunday to sort of capstone.
So that's really only one public performance of that play.
One public performance, of that, and each of these performances are free. We are hoping that donations from from people who attend will help to build the coffers, so to speak, of our endowment. That's a concerted effort on our part to start doing some fundraising as well for the department. But we really want this to become an annual event, to be inviting our alums to come back and to create with our students and to support and inspire our students about what they are learning at Albright and how they can take that forward into the profession and other professions as well.
Exactly.
Right? Because not everybody goes immediately or at all into the professional theater. The skills that they're learning with us are fantastic skill sets.
We have plenty of lawyers out there as well who were theater majors.
Lawyers and teachers and and advertising executives and all kinds of things that their training helped prepare them for. So that's coming up right away. So but everybody is welcome to come, and so the two performances on the September 1st and 2nd for Chris's piece and Lisa's piece are at 8:00. And then the final piece is on Sunday at 2:00. That's the Constellations piece.
I'm looking forward so much to all of those.
Oh, it's going to be great to have
it's going to be
everybody
a great reunion.
As you should as a domino player. Right?
Well, exactly. No, I've been on stage with these people.
Exactly.
So,
I also just want to take a second and say that David and I have been working closely to make sure that this is aligning with the arts administration students that have trained with David in the past several years, and finding synergies between these folks as well. So with that in mind, we have several discussions, forums that are going on over the weekend as well to talk about how our students are making an impact in the world, either in the creative side of it or the administrative side of it as well,
or both,
or both, or both, So we're looking forward to the performances, but also looking forward to some great conversation,
for sure,
with these folks.
We'll be starting our 5th year for that program as well.
That's great.
So
that's wonderful.
Yeah, and we have about 50 students, about half of which who are out in the field who've graduated, and about 25 in the program right now. So that's a nice kind of critical mass to have our first forum and to share it with theater. And these are kind of similar to the forums that we have for music business, music industry studies, and fashion. Those are two that we've had now for about 5 years each, actually, for those as well. So kind of taking off on what they did, and I'm glad that we're partnering with theater to do that. So that's really good. We do have another theater event, though, that's happening at the end of the month as well. That's coming up September, 29th and 30th, and October 1st. So two 8 p.m. shows the first 2 nights, and then a 2 p.m. matinee. And that is a project that we are working in collaboration with a group called the Crones, which is aptly named since the play itself is the Cemetery Club. And that's a group of actresses out of the Hershey area, Lancaster area, who are involved with Hershey Playhouse and things like that. And so they're bringing this to the Albright stage and giving our kind of younger actors and technicians a chance to kind of see how it works with professional actors in the field and things like that as well. But that will be part of our season. So that'll be kind of our first season show. Yeah,
just the way we did several years ago with Brickhouse Theater for two winters, I should say, 2 holiday shows. So we're very eager that it just so happened that because we were doing this early Labor Day weekend alumni event, that it opened up a slot, and and we had some folks close to us say we really want to invite these folks in, and get a Reading audience to be appreciating what they're doing as well.
Absolutely.
So we hope this is the beginning of a long relationship with them.
Yeah.
Looking forward to seeing that too.
Yeah, and I think that play has an interesting story that will connect with some of our community members as well, about the three widows and things like that. I don't want to give too much away, but it is a story that has a message about aging and also about kind of friendship and testing the bonds of that and moving on from lost loves and things like that. So it should touch a lot of different audiences.
Great.
Good?
Great,
All right.
great. And we'll talk about music in just a second, but there's one more play that's going to be taking the stage
Yeah,
in November.
A couple of weeks after that, we're going to do Leonard Bernstein's Candide. That's opens November the 2nd, I believe. 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th. The 5th will be a matinee at 2 o'clock. Again, on the heels of our production of Gilbert and Sullivan's The Pirates of Penzance, which was a joint production between the music and theater departments. Where do they find somebody who could combine these two departments together? I don't know. But
For sold out shows.
for sold out shows, which is amazing, and and word of mouth was great, and the students did such a magnificent job with it that we just thought we want to capitalize on this. And personally, I'm hoping that this is a trend, that this is going to be something that I think the infrastructure is there now for us to do this more often. I know that'll make our audiences excited to hear, our students excited to hear. So that, there's some great music, some great stories that we've not had access to. That I think this is going to be a wonderful second act, if you will, to Pirates of Penzance.
And a wonderfully teachable piece as well.
Wonderful. So many. This piece speaks to so many people in so many ways, and such a glorious score. And like with Pirates, it's going to be quite a choral challenge for our students as well. And I'm looking forward to it. Yeah.
Great. Well, when can we hear some more music making?
Hopefully you will come out for Candide, but we do have some other options for you as well. The first choral concert will be on October 7th. So that'll be our Pops concert. That's traditionally the first time that we get to hear a full concert by the Albright Angels, the Maine Men, the concert choir and women's chorale. That'll be a full concert focused on popular music from kind of across the ages, if you will.
Right.
You can also, though, get a sneak peek usually and hear the Angels and the Maine Men at the last Pond concert as well. And so every Wednesday in the month of September, WXAC hosts a concert at the Pond that starts at 6 and lasts for about an hour and a half. The last one is what we call Albright's Got Chops. And so the Maine Men and Albright Angels sing. Usually the jazz band is there. And also the Reading Samba School. So there's a lot of good music to be heard there. If folks are interested too, the Reading Samba School has created this partnership with Albright. And so every Wednesday at 6 o'clock, they have an open rehearsal, I should say.
Oh, great.
And AJ Merlino, who runs our music industry studies program,